Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn with Jason. Today, we're bringing back to the show the wonderful but terminally misguided Emma Bostian. Emma, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me back. I'm so excited to destroy you.
I am very much looking forward to this. It's going to be great. So, for those of you, or actually, before we do anything, before we start, Emma, for anyone who's not familiar with your work, do you want to give us a little bit of a background?
No. I'm kidding. I'm majored in sarcasm. I'm an American software engineer, but I live and work in Stockholm. I'm an American immigrant to Europe. I work at Spotify as a software engineer. I build the desktop application, and I like to make fun content in my spare time about CSS and resumes and all those fun things. So I'm excited to talk crap with you today.
You've got a book coming out on that, right?
I have a book coming out on the interview process, and I hope to have the final edits done this week and then publish it within 2 weeks. And it's going to be great. It's on technicalinterviews.dev if you're interested.
Technicalinterviews.dev. Let's drop this. Let's drop that link. Technicalinterviews.dev. There it is. Ooh, that's a beautiful looking site.
Thank you. The Egghead subsidiary team built it for me.
Let's just show this off real quick because it's looking real good. This is a wonderful looking site, and you can also follow Emma on twitter.com. Emma Bostian. There. Excellent. Okay. So is this Stockholm here in your header?
Yeah, it is. Isn't that so pretty?
That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's actually been snowing all day. It's like beautiful outside, but not that I've left my house.
It's raining raining pretty bad in Portland this week. And so I have mostly been an indoor pet. It's, I'm starting to do that.
As long as it's not raining men, I think you'll be okay.
We were just laughing about that the other day because that song came on, like It's Raining Men. And we were thinking about how funny it is that when that song came on, people probably got excited and they were like, oh, it's raining men, hallelujah. And now if that song came on, everybody like, oh, Jesus, like, please no, like no more.
I love that song. No, I love it. I'm all here for it.
Well, I just mean more of the concept of like men raining down from the sky.
Who wouldn't want that? Anyway, that's the not safe for work. Learn with Jason.
I see Prince is on board with Raining Men as well. Okay, all right. I was thinking metaphorically, like into my mentions on Twitter, but yeah, whatever way you want to take it, good for you. Okay, so let's start this episode with a little more smack talk, because the last time you were here, we were working on a little app to settle a debate. And that debate was, we wanted to, let's get up here. We wanted to talk about your choices, And what we built was an ability to determine whether or not Taco Bell is better than real tacos. Because Taco Bell is not real tacos.
I know it's better. It's like the epitome of taco.
And so the way that this app works is that you go in here and you look at a picture of a taco and you say, oh, look at this taco. This taco looks delicious. And then you rate it as a delicious taco. Then you look at this taco and you go, ooh, yeah, that looks like it would give me bathroom problems. And now you rate that one low. Then you look at this one and you go, that's a lot of cheese. That looks really good. But I also know what Taco Bell does to their meat.
I feel like having bathroom problems is an indicator of a great taco.
Okay, I think we're getting towards the root of the problem here. Okay, so then you continue through, you rate these, and then when you get to the end, it saves our tacos. And what that's doing here is it's putting the tacos into a database. And so the database that we've created goes here and it serves these up, and we can see what the ratings are. So like here's a Taco Bell taco, it's marked as true, and the score of 3, right? And then you can see down here, like this one was rated 5, and that's not a Taco Bell taco, and so on and so forth. So what we wanted to do today was figure out how we can get our tacos to visualize in some way. Because where we ended last time is like we're done here, right? Like we voted, but nothing happens. We send off our request. So let me reload the page. And if we go through and rate all of these tacos, when we get to the end, it should be sending a request to add a response, which it does. There's our response. It sends off. So what it actually sent is this array of responses here. And that gets put into Hasura, and we get back an okay. Like, hey, it worked. Good. Okay. So from that, what we want to be able to do is get some data out of Hasura. And so what I think we can do here is, like, Hasura is really powerful in that it's just going to let us do a bunch of stuff by default, right? And so I'm definitely not reading. Yes, I have sanitized inputs here.
That's my coworker / arch nemesis, and he is a troublemaker. It's a good thing you did that.
Let's take a look. I think we're only allowing integers. So yes, it is.
That's good.
It is sanitized in the sense that you can't put troublesome things into it. Although honestly, if you can hack a database by adding numbers into it, I kind of want to see it. Because I can't really imagine how you would. If you know how to do that, send me a DM. Let's play with that on a stream. That would be super fun. Yeah. So here we go. I know, famous last words. But let's talk a little bit about what we can do here, because what I want to do is I want to use this feature of Hasura called subscriptions, and I'm going to just have it give us a list of our Taco Bell tastiness score. Good. Now let's run this. And now anytime someone votes, we get that list of votes. Ooh. Right? So are people just voting like a lot right now?
This isn't the archive of all the votes we had?
I don't know.
It must be.
I thought it was going to update. It should be updating. Yeah, like it's running right now. And so we should see that the updates are coming in. And so basically what we can do now is, I'm pretty sure we can write some reactive. I can dump the database and retry, actually. Yeah, why don't we do that? Well, let's empty it. And we can. What if I just want to like empty it straight out? Is it going to let me do all of that?
Are you going to delete all 1,000 requests?
Oof, that seems like a lot.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not gonna. I could write a SQL query, but
we've got about 100. Like we were at like 900 something, I think, when we started this stream. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So people have opinions about tacos. But yeah, so what we can do, we're seeing a whole bunch of folks in here. If you would like to vote on your tacos, you can do it at this website here. We need to talk about your choices.netlify.app, and you will be able to vote for tacos. That's the general idea of what we want to do. But what I would like to do is take that one step further, so that once you vote, we can start raining tacos down. So what we're going to try to do is, I think, do some math to figure out who you voted for first, and then we'll see how far we can take it by the end of the episode. So let's jump into the code here. We've got it up. So here's what we built last time, right? We've got our array of tacos, and those are all saved as images. We added a flag for whether or not it was a Taco Bell taco. And then we used React hooks to keep track of responses, to keep track of the active taco, to keep track of the tastiness score, and to keep track of whether or not we had completed the questionnaire. So if I run this locally, which to do that, do we use Create React App?
I thought so.
Yes.
Yeah, we did, because we were like, is it NPX or is it? Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me make this a little bit bigger. I think I zoomed out at some point, and that was very confusing. So then let's do a Netlify dev here. And that's going to pull in our environment variables from Netlify so that we don't have to pull them in ourselves. There we go. Okay, so here is our setup. And so what I think we can do, I don't think we got around to it, but I'm pretty sure that we have this is done, right? And I don't know that we actually use that really.
Yeah, we do, but why? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, this is what we can replace.
Did we forget to set this?
Yeah, I think so.
Set is done true.
No, we do. We do set it, no?
Weird. Why isn't that working?
That's the bane of my existence with this career.
So if we click through all of these, it works. I think our last deploy didn't work. So this worked, and I bet something goofy happened that we can check. But because I did see.
Oh yeah, your last deploy did fail. Yeah. This
didn't work, and I'm not sure why. So we'll figure that out when we get to deploying. But what I'd like to do here is let's see if we can get a GraphQL subscription running, and like show something on the page. So let's do. Do you have a favorite GraphQL client?
I don't work with GraphQL on a day-to-day basis, so.
Okay.
I think I use Graphical. Is that like similar to what you're talking about?
Yeah, Graphical is great for like visualizing anything. The nice thing about these clients is like they'll give us like React hooks and stuff, which is really nice.
Is it like similar to Apollo, for example?
Yeah, so Apollo client is probably the most popular one. Urkel is really good. Chad, do you have strong opinions about this? Do you want to see Apollo? Do you want to see Urkel? Anything in particular?
So can you explain what a client does? Because I still don't understand this.
Yes. So when you send a like an asynchronous request with JavaScript, you use like the fetch API or something, right? Mm-hmm. And when you do that, the fetch API is acting as your client. With GraphQL, you can use the fetch API to send GraphQL queries, but there are a lot of things that are not ideal with that. Like you kind of want to be looking to see if your queries can be cached. You want to look at deduplicating things. You want to control whether or not you're spamming the GraphQL backend. And if you're doing something like subscriptions, you've got to handle WebSockets and stuff. So a GraphQL client is just a front-end library that handles all of that for you so that you can just say, I would like to send a query, and then they do the rest. So I see, let's see, Urkel, already done lots of Apollo. Okay, great. Let's do some Urkel. So what I want to do is I would like to set up subscriptions. And I think, where do they have it? Subscriptions. Here's how to do subscriptions in Urkel, which means we're going to install. Let's just install it. Here we go. We're going to npm install Urkel. I need to go check if I need other things, don't I? Basics, getting started. We need GraphQL as well. Is it like Postman? It's not like Postman because Postman is like an app for sending and testing requests. GraphQL client is more like a library for letting your app in the browser actually manage your queries, if that makes sense. I think this will make a little more sense when the code starts to come together, but it's sort of like if you've ever used Axios or like React Query, which if you haven't used React Query, there is an episode that we did on this. So let's go to lwj.dev and we will find Tanner's episode. Where is Tanner? Tanner is, you know what we should do while I'm here before I find this episode of Tanner? We've got live captioning happening right now. I got so excited about tacos that I forgot to mention it. We've got Amanda with us from White Coat Captioning helping us do live captioning all day today. You can find that on the homepage of lwj.dev. That is made possible through the generous support of our sponsors. We've got Netlify, Fauna, Auth0, and Hasura all kicking in to make the show more accessible to more people, which I deeply appreciate. With that, let's find this episode here. And we're going to look up Tanner. What up, website? Why are you going slow? Tanner. Here it is, React query. So here is the episode. You can go and watch that if you want to see it. React query is also a kind of like client for making different types of queries. And Urkel is a flavor of that is specialized for GraphQL. So, oh my goodness, come on. Chat, you want to play a little elevator music? Oh, you can do it. Come on, little compooper. Okay, there we go. So let's add GraphQL. This one should be much faster. Get out of here, Slack. Unacceptable.
My dad today was like, "Oh, we should migrate our family chat into Slack." I'm like, "That is not going to happen.
No. Please,
Under
God,
no circumstance will I ever do that."
I could maybe see Discord. Like, I like Discord as a...
No, I can't even. I don't want any of those apps in my personal life. This is what happens when you have a dad that's like an engineer.
Yeah. My dad's an engineer, but he's like the crusty like C# engineer who doesn't want to do anything new. So I'm pretty okay with his aversion to technology.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have set up. Now let's get to the subscription thing and let's see if we can make this thing work. So this hopefully will be a straight copy paste. Now I'm going to copy paste it and then we can step through what it actually does. So I'm going to go up here.
I love that we do this all in one file too. Great.
You know, when we're learning, right? I feel like that lack of
abstraction at this point is just like not worth it.
Yeah, I find it very stressful. So it looks like we're missing a couple things to start. We have this forward subscription and it hasn't yet shown us what that is. So let's take a look at what it means. And it looks like we're going to need something else. This is from Apollo. So they're friends.
Oh, nice.
That's fine.
Frenemies, probably.
I don't know. It can maybe who knows? I don't know if there's that kind of. It's not React, right? Like people aren't sniping at each other. Let's see. Okay, so we've got this going in, and what this is going to do, we've got the client. So the client is the actual library. This is the thing that is going to send queries and manage caches and dedupe things and do all of that stuff. The default exchanges in Urkel, if I remember correctly, are like the way that data gets processed. So you kind of have a here we go. Yeah. So the dedupe exchange, that deduplicates operations to make sure you don't send the same query 3 times. It has a cache exchange so that it'll check to see if you've already run that query and get you the result of the cache instead of running it twice. And then the fetch exchange, which is how we actually send like a standard query. And fetch is just the built-in browser API, or in this case, probably a polyfilled like, isomorphic fetch or node fetch that lets you send it in either the browser or the node environment. And then they have a whole bunch of other ones as well. So you can, run your query twice if it fails, or do an error thing, or handle server-side rendering. We're not going to deal with any of that today. We're only going to worry about this subscription stuff. And so for subscriptions, we have a subscription exchange, but the subscription exchange needs to do like all it needs. It basically has to have a WebSocket set up. And all right, we're going deep into concepts here. Have you worked with WebSockets before?
Of this, so no, I understand generally what they are, but I've never used them.
So WebSockets are if you like when you open a standard connection, you hit a server and you say, "Hey, I want some data," and the server says, "Great, I have some data," and it sends it back, and then the connection closes. With a WebSocket connection, you're reaching out to a server and you're saying, "Hey, I might want stuff in the future and I want you to be able to send it to me." And the server goes, "Great, I'll keep this line open." And then you just have like an open connection between the server and the client that messages can be sent through. And this is really powerful because it means you get real-time communication. It also means that you don't have to send all the HTTP overhead that goes between with like headers and the response and like closing stuff like that goes around a request. And instead you can just say, here's a message. And that is really, really powerful because it lets us just say, I'm listening for whenever something happens, and then we can react instead of having to say, did anything change? And the server says no. Did anything change? The server says no. Did anything change? Oh yeah, sure. And now we can react, right? So it eliminates the need for polling or things like that. So, okay. Now that we have the subscription transport WebSocket, which is what the WS is for, I'm going to copy that and let's add that in here. Okay. And then our forward subscription is going to just add a dot request for our operation. I'm not going to explain what this does because I have a shaky understanding of it myself. The way that I understand this is that the subscription exchange is more or less just taking a subscription operation and sending it through to something that can handle WebSockets. And then the WebSockets are like passing those messages back and forth. And then when we get something back through the WebSocket, it gets turned into data that GraphQL can say like, hey, I got something here it is in your subscription. So now we have to make the subscription client, which we have not done. And that lives where? Oh, we got to set it up here. So we need this thing. And reconnect true seems like a smart thing to do because every once in a while your WebSockets will just outright fail. And I'm going to see, I think we can just hit this with this URL here. So let's go to graphical and let's grab this. And note that I'm not getting the HTTP because what I'm going to do is get WSS. So this is still over SSL, but now it's WebSockets over SSL. I would like to try this and see if it works. So let's get through the rest of this setup and we'll just fire off a little query and see what happens. So there is our exchange. Good. I don't want GraphQL WS. I think now that we've set this up, actually, we've got our client. We create the client here. And then when we want to use the client, we have to provide it. So we're going to get I think we need to move this up. Because in order to use a provider, we have to wrap the thing that uses it. So I think we need this to be up here. That's fine. Let's do that. Okay. Everybody following us? Are we making sense? All right. So while I copy paste this, so I've heard that if I have complaints about the Spotify user experience, I should bring those directly to you, right? You control the roadmap now?
I do. I actually just found out that I am the new CEO. So I swear I got this DM the other day from someone that was like, the developer portal is down. You're the only one at Spotify I know, so I'm sending this to you. And then 2 minutes later, it's back up. Never mind. And then today, a week later, he was like, it's back down again. I'm like, I don't even know what the developer portal is. Leave me alone.
You just say, I fixed it. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I flipped that button. It did the thing.
Like people forget that Spotify is a big company.
It's a huge company, right? How many people work there?
It's only a few thousand people, but like I compare that to IBM, I guess. So yeah, I mean,
that's fair because IBM had the same number of
350,000 people.
It's like the population of what's that little Luxembourg? The country of Luxembourg has as many people as are employed by IBM.
That's insane.
Okay. Theoretically speaking, we have now done the thing. Let's see if...
How do we know if it works? If there's no error in the console?
Well, it should fail pretty loudly if the provider's not working. So let's just start it up and see what happens. Moss showing the internet in the IT crowd, if you haven't seen it, is like the best. Have you watched the IT crowd?
No.
It's a like a BBC comedy about three people who work in the IT department of a big company, and it is just delightful. Okay, so let's see if we are getting. Here's our 101, and we're getting responses. There we go. Yeah, look at this. So we're getting our WebSocket responses. Sweet. And so we can kind of see here that stuff is happening. Connection error, access key required but not found. Okay, that's fine. We can handle that part. So let's see, how do we do that? We need to figure out how to send a token. I have done this before, and so I'm going to cheat and look at some code that I've written. So let's go to this, is it Socket Studio? I think. Yeah, this is the code that runs the boops and the overlays and everything for the stream that you're watching at this very moment. So let's see if I can figure out how I put together this thingy. So here's our WebSocket URL. Reconnect. You just got blitzed. You did just get blitzed. Where's the header happening though? Subscription client. Yeah, that's what we wanted. WebSocket URL. I have many questions about what I'm doing here. So here's the subscription, and that runs a use subscription hook out of Urkel. Okay. And then that. Right, and we're doing some stuff here that handles pre-rendering, which we're not doing in this case because it's create React app. So we don't have to worry about like the build time rendering or SSR or any of those things. So the American version with Joel McHale, I watched a little bit of that and I had to turn it off because they lost all of the charm of that show. It was really unfortunate. Okay. So maybe we just try this. I'm just going to try it. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to install Urkel React. npm install Urkel React. And maybe it was, I'm confused as to how it tried to make a query though. Like what did it try to hit that didn't have a header? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it just tried to do like an initial connection sort of thing. And because we didn't provide anything, it didn't work. It's got to be in here though. Like providing the client, showcase, advanced. How did we do this? How does it work? Show me your ways, computer. Do we have any headers in here? No. What are you doing, computer? Why? Why are you like this? I wish I knew. Because this is connected. This is not Hasura though. So this is like straight to a thing, which means that we probably need to look at this WebSocket transport to see if it takes headers, because we're setting up our subscription client. So I would be willing to bet there is an opportunity to send headers in this. So let's look at this subscription client. Do you accept headers? Options, client options. Client options includes connection params. Do you have headers? No?
It's not very helpful.
It's not helpful at all. Zero chance that this whole client doesn't accept headers anywhere. That is right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. We might have to bail out to Apollo if I can't figure this out. Oh, it was all going to be so easy. Everything was going to go so well. Actually, maybe what I can do is we can set up on Asura. We can set up like a
Someone posted a link in the chat for common questions.
Oh, did they cover this? Let's see. Let's get in here and try it out. We've got headers, no? Headers. So the fetch options exchange, that returns headers. Yeah, but that still doesn't solve. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use permissions here instead. So what we can do is go into our taco votes table, and I'm going to set up permissions, and we're going to create a role called public, and public is only going to be able to select things. So we'll do without any checks, and they're going to be able to get. Why not? We'll get these tables here. And we will save those permissions. And so now what I should be able to do is in here, I can set an environment variable. I can set a new one, and it's, wait, what happened? My buttons. They have like an unauthenticated role, unauthorized role, and we'll just make it public. And so what should then happen is that by default, we should be able to, I'm not authorized. Let's start it again. Okay, this is going to work. And the reason it's going to work is because we've removed the need for authentication because we're just reading data now. So let's open this up. Let's take a look and see what happens. We get our GraphQL, and in our responses, you don't need that because it's unauthorized role is public. That's allowed. Come on now. What's the request that it's sending? Like, is it sending?
Someone in the chat's suggesting like the URL needs to be changed.
Origin. Which URL?
They said, I don't think you're supposed to pass it as a WebSocket URL. This one has HTTP const client with some stuffs.
Well, so this one's our subscription client, though. I wonder if. Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet we need to change it like this.
Oh.
Let's see if that makes any difference. Response, no messages.
Does that need to be localhost 3000 GraphQL or localhost 8888?
Well, we're not hitting a localhost. We're actually hitting this URL.
Okay.
Resource does not exist. That's a whole.
Well, that's part of the problem.
Interesting. How do you not exist? You literally exist. I can see you existing. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, wait, because it would only be for posts, which that makes sense. You can't get a thing. It should be WSS because that's behind SSL. And so the reason that it's not working is
someone else said localhost is not HTTPS by default. Does that matter?
It shouldn't for the case of testing, because usually localhost gets exempted from the SSL requirements. I wonder why you're like this right now, computer. Did everybody think they were coming in for like a real rocky debugging ride today? Because that's what we're doing. Okay, let's see what we can break down on this. Let's see if we can get connected without the subscriptions. Right, so let's see if we can just make like a query. Because if we can do that, then we can start to figure out what's going on with everything else. So subscription exchange is defined but never used. That's fine. We can comment this out. Comment that out. Okay. So then in here, what we would want to be able to do is get. Did you import? We need the Urkel React stuff. So basics, query. We already have a use query from Urkel. So I can import use query from Urkel. And then we can try something like get just a basic query. So let's head in here and add a query. And our query is going to be for taco votes. Yeah, that makes sense. Why are you still under subscriptions? I said here.
Oh, so basically, okay. So subscription is basically saying anytime there's a new vote, recalculate the results.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So this query should work if we grab it. So I'm going to grab this query. I'm going to look at the Urkel docs again for how it actually works. And when you use a query, you get a result. And that's the only part that I think we're going to use today. So let's do that. So we get a result. And that's going to be the result of use query. Right, and then we can make this a little bit more formatted so that we can read it more easily. And then I am going to do my favorite type of debugging, which is to just use a pre-tag and dump that thing. And the null2 formats it a little bit so that it looks nicer. Let's refresh this page. Fetching true, fetching false, combined error, Hasura key. You're supposed to be able to fetch though. I wonder why this isn't getting picked up because I set the role to public. Right? And then we're trying to select, not do anything else, so that should work. And that means like I can turn these off and I can do like an X Hasura role public, and that should change. But we don't need that. We shouldn't need that to do. Interesting. So I have to send that key no matter what, because I don't like that. Okay, so maybe what we can do for the sake of this one is, oh God, okay. I'm gonna do a thing and I need everybody to not be terrible because I wanna be able to move forward. But if I do this, it means that this is about to get open to everyone, which means you can all go in and mess this up for us. So please don't. I'm gonna remove this variable.
You hackers, you dirty hackers.
Okay.
This is gonna go real good.
This is where we find out whether or not the chat is really in it with us or if they're just here to cause chaos. Because what I want to be able to do, unauthorized role requires admin. But I did this. Oh, you're frustrating. Okay, I'm doing it. Okay, we're putting this back in. All right. And it says error.
That's not
Does that
helpful.
mean that you're broken right now, or what's the deal? Is this broken?
You broke all of Thesaura, didn't you?
How did but wait, how? Project has a configuration error. Please contact support. I do not. I didn't
That's
do
like
it.
the least helpful error message.
Now are you telling me that I'm broken? Okay. So let's try this unauthorized role again. Public. Restarting.
I love how
okay,
supportive.
this is what I want. Restarting, and it has
I
restarted.
love how supportive Chris Viscardi is in the chat. Big oof. Yeah.
Chris is like one of my favorite people because of that. He's here for the team. But this now should be working, which means I'm going to refresh. We're going to get in here. It's going to give us this public role, and it says no schema available, which means that, so we do need one of these. So I have to send that secret no matter what, huh? But that's really, that kind of defeats the purpose of having an admin secret if you have to send it with everything.
Yeah.
No. Well, unfortunately, I don't think the problem is Urkel here. The problem is that we need this to be open, which I thought was gonna work. So I'm going to do what? All right, I'm going chaos mode because I want this to work. This is not the way that we should do this because I need it to be like, this is not secure. But what I want to see is if we can get this subscription running. At the moment I am like, what we need to do is set up actual roles and access keys. But what is happening right now is obviously not that. There's literally no way that's possible. What? What? How? It's like,
this is just
we straight up didn't lock this thing down. Look, you're giving me a big, yeah, it is. That's the whole goal. I want to be able to hit this thing. Cool. So yeah, I think we might be a little hosed with Hasura at the moment, and I need to talk to some Hasura experts to figure out what I did wrong.
we're gonna live stream our client call with Thesaura.
Oh, now we need to talk about my choices.
I think that means I win by default.
Wait, hold. Okay, hold up.
You hackers, you dirty hackers.
All right, so let's turn this back on, and what I can do is we will just send that header, much to my chagrin. And I'll figure out what the right way to do that is. Unauthorized role, yeah. Stop trying to help, thank you. So here's our console. Okay, we're logged in, we can do a thing, and if I set Hasura role to public, it drops everything out, which is not what we wanted. What? Oh God. Oh God.
Did it just delete the database?
No, you know what I've been doing?
No.
I've been changing the wrong project.
I just saw that.
I
Why
think
did
I
no one
just
else
broke-
do that?
I think I just broke my stream overlays. Oh no. Okay. Well, that makes me feel slightly better. Okay, so here's Here's where we stand. The problem wasn't Urkel. The problem wasn't Hasura. The problem was me. Jeez. Okay, so the good thing about this is that the only thing that I did was change that that secret.
You
and
hackers,
I can
you
fix
dirty
that.
hackers.
So that is fine. I can fix that for sure. I'll just go over to this other project where I have that old secret written down.
That's exciting.
Oofda, indeed. And over here somewhere, you know what? I'm gonna fix that later, and we might just be a little bit broken, and that's okay. But it does look like the boops and stuff are working, so it's at least not broken now. It'll be broken later. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go to the right project about taco choices. Oh my God. And we're going to try all of this again using actual settings. So here we go. Environment variables. I'm gonna set an unauthorized role to public. Oh my God, I can't believe I did this. We're gonna add that. Now, this is not the wrong one. This is taco choices. So now we have our default role is public, and we get. Oh, it works. Why? Okay, so that was a great use of our time.
I mean, I'm a little offended you're wasting my time.
I'm offending myself right now.
To be honest, I'm sitting here and I didn't notice either.
Jesus. Yeah, where were you, chat? Y'all could have seen that.
There are 82 people on this call and no one saw it.
Oh, you're killing me. No, it's fine. But this is, so I do need like a full retraction here. This was not an Urkel problem. This was not a Hasura problem. This was a me problem. I was looking at the wrong project. So and actually it's great because like let's step through what happened. So what up, chat? What are you hemming? So the thing that happened is that we had this Taco Choices app, and what I wanted is for if you tried to access the GraphQL API and you did not have a secure token, I wanted you to only have access to a subset of things. So you can only get whether or not the taco, like the taco's ID, what the tastiness score is, and whether or not it's Taco Bell, right? That's all I want you to be able to access by public. And you can only read it. You'll notice here, you can't mutate data. So you can only read it, and a subscription is just a live read. So that's what I wanted. That was what I was going for. And what I did was I updated the wrong Hasura project with this unauthorized role, and then I was confused why it wasn't working. So so basically, yeah. I mean, I don't know that they could have made it more clear. Like, look at that. It's right there. I was just editing the wrong thing in the wrong place. So I think part of this could have been error messaging, but really, I think ultimately I just needed to read what we were doing. Okay, so now that we've done that, all of that excitement, let's just maybe try this again. So let's add the subscription exchange back in. Let's add our subscription client. Let's get this thing back in there. And here we go. So we've got subscriptions, and that's all good. That's what we wanted. We are now wrapping our app, and that should mean that in our Urkel docs, we should be able to find a use case for React and Preact. So the use subscription hook comes right out of Urkel. That is wonderful. And that means that if we just change this to use subscription, and I change this to subscription, what should theoretically happen is we should see in our network tab responses. So if I go in to our app now, which is over here,
Yes.
and I refresh the page, and I'm just gonna do. I've now saved, and we should see a new subscription, and there are we getting messages? So we've got a bunch of these. Fetching is true. Data is Taco Bell. Data, payload. Okay, so let's take one more look at this. I'm going to try one more time. Boop, 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 boop. And there we go. See, here we go. So now we're getting updated taco. So as votes go in, we will get those votes in real time. And so this is really exciting because what it means is that as we're doing that, we can do our result here will let us do a use effect. And our use effect can be triggered on any change in the result. And for now, we can do something like new tacos. And if we go out here and look at our console, every time somebody votes, we should get a new tacos. Yes. And we can see the count has gone up to 2. And if people continue to vote, it'll go up to 3 and so forth. So now to actually use this, what we get back is data. In our data, we get taco votes. So we can do something like, okay, so here's where I'm going to need your math brain. If we want to determine how, so if like we've got our votes, right? Our votes are going to be result.data.taco votes. And this is going to be an array. And I'm just going to set this up so that we don't have to do, we're just going to assume this is going to work. We're not handling failure cases or anything like that. I guess we could just default to an empty array if something goes wrong. Okay, so our to-do here is figure out who is right about tacos and who is Emma. So if we want to do this math,
I was originally thinking like a reduce function would be good, but that would, I think, require 2 passes through all of that data. So do we want to, oh shoot, like this is not going to be super duper performant. I guess we have like 1,000 results right now.
Mm-hmm. I think we just kind of eat that because what we should be doing is probably setting up some kind of an intermediary, or like we could do an aggregate or something.
Then what I would suggest maybe is filter out Taco Bell versus taco, like do an array filter, pull them out into 2 separate arrays, and then reduce each of those arrays to like the total sum of all the taco counts, and then just divide it by 4 for each. Okay.
So we would be able to do something like we've got
a reduce with 2 values in the accumulator, 1 for Taco Bell scores, 1 for non-Taco Bell scores. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that could work.
I've never used 2 values in the accumulator. So
okay, so let's do scores, and that'll equal votes.reduce. And so that's going to give us an accumulator, our current value, and it's going to do stuff. And our argument is going to start out as it would be like Taco Bell and not Taco Bell. Is that's what we're thinking?
Does it have to be an object is my question. So the accumulator...
It could be an array, but it's probably easier to do an object, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because I think we could do whatever, but just in terms of being able to a little more visually set it. So to do that, then we would want if val dot is Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would say accumulator Taco Bell plus equals val dot tastiness score.
Mm-hmm.
Else, and we'll just do it in an else. We could just do it outside, but not Taco Bell plus equals tastiness score. Okay.
Nice.
So this is not the most like beautiful code that's ever been written, but you know, it's not. It's also could be worse, I guess. So then let's do one of these. We'll set scores like this. And so we can probably take this and set this as our default. So let's do a const scores and set scores. And that'll be a use state like this. Okay.
Yeah. Do we need to return the object like in the reduce function? I think we need to return.
Oh, we sure do. Yes. That would have been the rest of our episode, is me trying to figure out how that worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this should work, right? Where we'll, I think this will be good. And then once we've done the reducer, we'll be able to set the scores. And then down here, instead of stringifying our result, we'll stringify our scores. So let's see what happens. Whoa. That can't be right. There's no way we have that many votes.
So, well, what's 5? What's that divided by 5? 4,004,8853. Because they could have at most 5. Oh Lord, yeah.
80 million votes. Yeah. Okay. So we're doing something wrong. So maybe they can't be stored as a string though, right?
Plus equals 1. Maybe we should just like console log each. Let's just console log like each value and or like their taco score and see what it looks like.
This is going to be super messy, but let's do it.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Tastiness score, right?
Wait, is that what we? Yeah, we're gonna break this. Is that the value we were grabbing? Yeah, it is.
It is. I'm gonna just take that out because it's logging
I
so
know.
much stuff. I wonder though, like, what's the length of our scores? Like, let's just log that.
Yeah.
Undefined.
Ah.
That's interesting.
So we need to make sure scores has like a value.
Oh no, sorry. That's my bad because I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm supposed to be votes.
Ah, okay.
Votes. 11,000 votes. Okay, first of all, y'all have some
What?
feelings about tacos.
What the hell?
Because what is that? 11,005 divided by 5. That means that we've had 22,000.
Divided. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, no, I have an
divided by
extra 0. 2,200 submissions, or divided by 8. That's right. We
Yeah.
have 8 tacos. Odd. We've had an incomplete number of submissions. Okay. So this is that's a lot, but it's not this many, which means something is going wrong with our math. Like,
oh wait.
do we need to parse int or something? That doesn't seem right. Is that, am I, what up?
Maybe.
Filter for votes with
isn't
a
it a
tastiness
string?
score over 5. Oh, because people could just hit that endpoint. Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. So let's just short circuit. If val tastiness score is over 5, we'll just return. And I don't like it when people do that. I don't know why I just did it. It makes it harder to track. Somebody did a visualization once of like how you track visually down code with if statements. And when you have the logic over here, it was like you had to track over here, versus here where it's like boom, boom, boom. Okay. Oh wait, we just need to return the accumulator in that case so that we don't break our whole thing. Okay, so that looks a little more accurate. Thank you to whoever is stress testing the system. Lots of votes in favor of not Taco Bell. Just saying.
No one knows what they're talking about.
I mean, you're literally. I would say this is being ratioed here. 3-1.
It's just you. You set up a bot to like auto vote for your.
No, my bot was the one that put the scores really high. The last vote, the last vote won't fail, but it won't do anything because it doesn't get to that like scores thing. How are we doing on time here? We have like 30 minutes, which means we probably don't have time to do anything super ambitious with this data.
Yeah.
But what we can do is let's get this thing published in the right place. So let's put the score. We've got our scores, right? So instead of doing it like this, we can do something like the people have spoken and they believe that Taco Bell is. And then I think we can do like a little, we could probably put this logic somewhere else, but let's do like scores, not Taco Bell is greater than scores Taco Bell. And if that is the case, so that should give us our, like our results. And I am going to pull this out because I want to troll you further with it. Let's do it. How do I want to do this? I don't really like these Booleans always throw me. Sure. Why not? Is not food. That's not confusing at all to use. And then we can do like is not food.
You don't have a second on your ternary. You should just do is not food and not.
I was going to let you come up with something to troll me with in case the tides
Oh, gotcha.
turn.
Oh, sorry. I would go for like undoubtedly or something much longer than not.
Is okay.
What?
Is absolutely not food. Okay, so how would you troll me if you end up winning? Oh, and this one you're absolutely right. I did that wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at this one and I got confused as to what was going on. Okay, so here you get to troll me if you manage to turn the tides.
It's a great. Maybe we could say that like the entire city of Austin, Texas, like has banned me from visiting. Wait, but that's not trolling you. That's trolling myself again. It's too late for this. I don't know. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm not good at this right now. Okay, well, either way. Oh.
How about, okay, so we can do, Jason is a snobby hipster and needs to get off his judgy taco high horse.
I love it. Thank you.
Okay. So now what we can do is we should be able to see, we can save and rate, and we'll get a bunch of these in here. I enjoy this very much. All right, so let's go ahead and take this thing live so that people can see these results. Let's see what's here. We've got our package lock. Wait, did we use yarn last time? We did. Oh no. I'm gonna remove that, and I'm just gonna do a quick reinstall. Oh God, we've got Urkel in here. Do we have enough time left in the episode? We'll see. We'll see.
Jason and separately his beard have been banned from all craft breweries in Austin. And separately his beard.
Okay, we can include that. That's funny. Is it Kraft? I think it's Kraft, right? Because otherwise it's just the processed cheese.
Yeah, but that almost makes it funnier.
Oh yeah, Kraft Singles beer is definitely the flavor that we all needed.
Inhale that. Oh.
Okay, okay, that's good. So then I'm going to remove, we already did the yarn lock, so I'm going to add everything, git commit, show results. And then let's push this thing up and let's figure out what went wrong with that build last time and see what we hit here. So here is our build log. And if we go over to deploys, we should see our new one. And hopefully this is just going to work.
Oh, cheese beer. Beer cheese.
Now, beer cheese I'm on board with. Cheese beer, on the other hand.
Right.
I don't know. Don't know about that. Miller Lite, but cheesier.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like
Also,
I'm so on board with like a backyard barbecue where I am having a beer and eating Kraft Singles, but the never the twain shall meet. You know what I mean?
Okay, so first of all, one thing I found when you moved to Sweden is that I went to the grocery store and I'm walking through the aisles and they have a whole aisle full of massive ass blocks of cheese. Like if you Google Swedish cheese and go to Google Images, you'll see these massive blocks of cheese. I'm like, who the hell is eating that much cheese? And so I bought one day because you can only buy it in bulk quantity. And I was just hacking off pieces of it.
This much cheese.
I was hacking off pieces of it. Come to find out, they have this thing called a cheese shovel. If you Google that, you'll see it. It looks like an ice scraper, but they literally shave off pieces of cheese. Like, you know how we have cheese slices? They shave their own off of these like big blocks of cheese. No, scroll down. Yeah, it looks like that. And so they just sit there and shave off their own slices. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I've been doing it wrong my whole life.
I love it. This is like right after my own heart. Because what happens when I have cheese like this, if I just have the block, like if you just take a bite out of the block, it feels wrong. You feel like you're doing something incorrect. But if you have the block and you just slowly shave slices off, you can be like, oh, I'm only having one slice of cheese. Oh, maybe just one more. And then then it's gone.
You know, I found a cheese the other day. It was called champagne cheddar. And let me tell you, it lived up to its name.
I'm very on board with that. There's okay, I'm going to talk about the pandemic for like a hot second because it makes me sad to talk about, but this is the thing that I miss is there are the grocery stores, like the fancy grocery stores that have the organic food and everything. They will have the deli, and the deli is full of all of the fancy cheese. And one of my all-time, I've realized how much of a like boring adult I'm going to sound like right now. One of my all-time favorite activities is to go grocery shopping and hang out at that counter and be like, you know, I'm looking to make a charcuterie board tonight and I'm not sure what to get. What would you recommend to pair with? And then I'll name some condiment in my fridge. And then I get to sample like 18 different types of cheese, and it's kind of like shopping and lunch. It's wonderful.
I love that. That's a great tip if you like don't have a lot of money to spend on food for that week.
Yarn not found. Why are you yarning? What have I done? Okay, I can kind of see how things went wrong here if we're calling a command that doesn't exist. Let's go in here and okay, that's why we had a yarn lock. Okay, let's just try that again. Okay. The chat is just going off about cheese.
I actually got heartburn just thinking about American cheese while sitting here. Like, I'm not even joking.
Cheese whiz. Oh yeah. String cheese is wonderful. It's all wonderful. I like it all. I usually I have pretty strong feelings about like food that's processed and stuff, as evidenced by us fighting over tacos. But when I make cheeseburgers, I use the Kraft singles, like the American cheese.
You have to.
Yeah, it's a
melting
very
cheese.
important. It's melting cheese, and it's like
That's actually, I think, what
thing.
it's called over here in Europe is like melting cheese, but it's really just Kraft singles, basically.
Mm-hmm. A cheese whiz is not a smart cheese connoisseur, although it should be. A cheese whiz is sprayable cheese, and it's amazing.
It is really good. Cheese whiz Khalifa.
I went to Philadelphia while like years ago, and while I was there, the two places that you're supposed to go to get Philly cheesesteak are Pat's and Gino's. And if anybody is in Philadelphia, you feel free to correct me, because I went when I was like in my 20s, so I went with what a friend recommended. But I guess Pat's and Gino's are kind of like the big names of how to find a cheesesteak, and they're like catty corner to each other, so that you can literally see one from the other. And there's a huge line at both. And so we went to Pat's, and while we're waiting in line at Pat's, the guy in front of us forgot to order a drink or something. And they're pretty like, why did the build? Our build failed because do not use marquee get. Howdy here. No, let people enjoy things. Okay, fine, we'll turn it off. That's okay, fair enough. We don't want to be inaccessible, but also that breaks my heart a little bit. Okay, so we'll just turn this off. Okay. So anyway, so we're at Pat's, and this guy, he forgets to order a drink, and so he goes to pick up his sandwich, and he asks if he can buy a drink, and they're like, "No, you can't do that." And he didn't want to wait in the line again, so he gets super agitated and gets so mad that he decides to throw his cheesesteak through the pickup window at the person making sandwiches, who then proceeds to completely empty the restaurant. Like, everybody who worked there gets outside, they all whip their shirts off, they're ready to murder this guy. So this guy runs across the street with his friends to Gino's, and they start like yelling insults about Pat sandwiches and saying Gino's are the best, and the Gino's crew is like fist pumping behind. It was the most Philadelphia moment I've ever had.
Oh, Lord.
Did I push that change? I sure didn't. I was just talking. Okay, so let's...
Oh gosh, now I really do have heartburn. But I still want the cheese.
Yep. I'm now trying to strategize, like, how can I get something really cheesy for lunch? The modern day hunt for food. What? How bad have you screwed up? Was it empty the cheesesteak place bad? This was empty the cheesesteak place bad.
Why are your subscribers so funny?
I don't know. How'd I get so lucky? Chat? All right, this one's going to work because we took out the marquee.
I love Netlify, by the way.
It makes me very happy. I mean, I'm biased, obviously.
Yeah,
but...
I know. I was going to say I hope so. But
aw, look at the chat. See, look at them. They're just being even nicer.
oh, I want a burger now. Is 9 o'clock at night too late for a burger?
No, yes, absolutely. Get a burger. Is there a good burger in Sweden? One thing that I found in Europe is that it was very hard to find good burgers.
No, Sweden has awesome burgers, and it's like kind of a religion as to which is the best. There's so many good ones. But I'm also the kind of person who just likes it simple. I don't want a lot of crap on there. I just want like cheese, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I don't want bacon. Well, bacon I could go for, but I don't want like jalapenos. Those don't belong there.
No, I'm with you. My favorite burger is the simple smash burger. I do like.
Oh, smash burgers!
It's like griddled onions, but mostly those are like the umami because they cook down. They don't have any crunch left in them. And then you do super flat smash patties, American cheese, lettuce, pickles, and that's it. That's your burger. And then like
So
a
good.
burger sauce if you got it, or something else. Okay, so let's do a quick rating. See if this works. It should be working now. Get those Taco Bell tacos out of here. None of them. Nothing. Don't like them at all. Boo.
To be fair, it looks like an ad. Like you could have chosen better ones. Just saying.
Well, so
I think you've skewed this.
My reasoning for doing that actually is that the other taco photos we got from Unsplash, where they're royalty free, the Taco Bell ones I couldn't find royalty free images, so I erred on the side of making them Taco Bell ads so that Taco Bell wouldn't yell at us if we I figured I am being mean to Taco Bell, but you are very much standing up for Taco Bell, and as long as they're getting the publicity, right? But this is, hey, look. Chat turned it.
Nice. Thanks, Craig.
But look at that. It works. Okay, so chat, whoever's running that script, turn it the other way and let's see if it switches back in real time, because it switched in real time.
No, don't.
No, this is fun though. Like I love and like this is it's a subtle thing, right? Because we're not really doing anything live, but we are. Like, and this is the sort of stuff that I think is really fun when you look at web interfaces, is you have the ability here to do something that is exciting. Like subtle but still really engaging. And it caught my eye enough to bring me back to the page, but not so much that it it's not doing explosions or anything. But we can and probably could in the future turn this into, we could show like when somebody votes, we could have a taco pop up on screen, or do like taco fireworks or something like that, right? And that could be a really fun way to make this more engaging. And maybe someday in the future we do that, because I can see a lot of fun with physics or things like that. But let's see. So we got about 10 minutes left, which means I don't think we have enough time to do too much else here. So Emma, do you have any ideas for any last minute things, or do you want to just open it up for some questions before we wrap it up?
Let's do some solid Q&A. Hit us with your best.
All right, y'all. What you got? What questions do you have for me,
Rapid
for Emma?
fire.
Get us. Look, and it switched back. Look at it go. This is super fun.
Well, I screenshotted me winning, so that's what.
I'm not seeing any questions, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do while we're waiting for any questions to roll in is I'm going to flip back over here, and let's do another shout out to Amanda and White Coat Captioning, who have been hooking us up with live captioning for the whole show, which I am so happy that we've been able to put together. That's made possible by our sponsors. Look at that fun thing that's happening there. What is that all about? Weird.
Oh.
So that's a fun little bug that I'm going to have to figure out. But there we go. There's the sponsors. We've got Netlify, Fauna, Auth0, and Hasura all kicking in to make this show more accessible, which I very much appreciate. Also, make sure you head over and check out the schedule. You can add it to Google Calendar and get notified whenever episodes are upcoming. We've got Lori coming on later this week. We're going to build a Babbel plugin. Next week, we're going to do...
That said a bagel plugin, and I was like, this guy's obsessed with food.
Now I want to make a bagel plugin. Somebody's asking, how's your German going?
Mein Deutsch ist nicht schlecht, aber ich lerne Schwedisch jetzt.
Did you just switch between 3 languages?
No. I butchered my German grammar, but it's fine.
I'm so bad at all of that. I remember like ham and cheese in like 13 languages, but that's all I know in those languages. But yeah, so we're doing a bagel, also known as Babbel plugin, on Thursday with Lori. Then we've got Lucy coming on. We're going to look at Prismic's Slice Machine, which is a really cool headless CMS thing. It lets you build like blocks of content with, so your CMS will let you control layout by kind of defining what the data structure is, what the layout is on the front end, and you kind of package these up. So components that go all the way back to a database. It's really fun. Then a little bit later on, Joel Hooks is going to come join us, and we are going to do serverless marketing automation for React. If you have seen the new Egghead site, it is really, really cool. They have added a whole bunch of amazing stuff. You should go and look at it. I'm a big fan of why didn't you copy that? Copy this one. But this is really cool stuff that they've been doing, and one of the things they've been setting up is a lot of marketing automation, trying to get you content that's relevant to your interests and not just like a blanket spam you with a bunch of everything, because that's not good for anybody. But yeah, let's see. Is that a food stream too? Yeah, like all food streams. Also, on next week on Tuesday, I'm gonna go live solo, I think, because I had to reschedule Colby. And so I'm going to get on. I think I'm going to keep working on that subscription overlay with the hearts and stuff. So we'll have some fun stuff there, do some fun things. Emma, where should people go if they want to find out more about you? I'm going to replug your technical interviews to start.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Like I've been putting this off. I've been really sick because I had COVID. So I promise this is going to get re-released. But yeah, just I'm on Twitter. That's where I do most of my internet stalking. That is
Most of my internet stalking. Good. Everyone go follow Emma. It is a delight. You get to watch Emma argue with everyone. Usually lovingly, sometimes not so lovingly, but always for the betterment.
I ain't got time for arguing for real these days.
My favorite is to watch you and Kelly argue, because I feel like it's like passively observing an inside joke that I'm almost part of, because I don't quite get it, but I know that something is going on. But I enjoy that very much. Okay, so that, I think, is everything for us today. Chat, as always, you've been delightful, and thank you for not completely bombing the Hasura when we unauthenticated it for a brief moment.
That was good.
Emma argues with everyone. Sounds like a sitcom I'd watch. I agree. Emma,
that's called being my friend. So.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that we were able to prove. Well, I guess we should check if we've continued to prove that. No, the chat has turned in your favor, and they're defending your terrible decisions. And I will begrudgingly let the episode end on this note. But thank you to all of you who voted legitimately, to those of you who wrote scripts to spam the heck out of that script, and to those of you who did some stress testing on it. We will call it here. Emma, thank you a million times for coming back on the show. And you know, we'll probably see you again. I'm sure we'll come up with something silly to do in the future. Chat.
I'm sure we will.
Stay tuned. We're going to go find somebody to raid, and we will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out, y'all.